Right.
Indeed.
Activate the tea leaves.
Tactical teabag inbound.
I was about to say, though, if I were going to get a thumbnail, I'd get everybody dressed up in those beefeater outfits that the royal guard have. Oh, there's Owen.
Hey, Notes.
Hey, Owen.
How's it going?
I was actually just talking to Rocky. He's like, I know this.
Radio edit.
The one we're going to have on the show. And I was like, oh, what did you talk to her about? He's like, I don't remember. I better edit that out. Wow. Let's just put that little radio edit freaking thing I got laying around.
Radio edit.
Yeah.
Right, on a scale of potato to Morgan Freeman, how good do I sound?
You sound ace.
Is this good to go as it is, Ninja, or do I need to put something
Question
else
1, do I have a shit ton of background noise?
Little bit.
I heard a train, I guess, go past.
Yeah.
Ninja, did you hear what happened with Pasta?
Hey, nope.
Didn't he call Keyframe?
No, well, there's that. No.
No, he called Keyframe and Voice of Reason and ran to them, apparently.
Okay, so this is what happened. Anyways, over in the Secret Rift channel, he was like bitching about this, that, and the other, whining, complaining. Well, you know that part.
I was there, yes.
Yeah. After the podcast,
Yeah.
I looked in the comments section, and he wound up calling Keychi a cunt. And he's like, it's funny to watch you angry, Anthony. And I was like, oh, is it now? So you want to go, do you? So I accidentally copy-pasted that and threw that in one of the rooms with all of his friends. And Voice and Goldie and fucking all them were screaming at him afterwards. I was like, yeah, where's your PFC now, boy? And he's trying to call them all up. I was like, no, I'm not a dick. You don't understand. She was arguing with me. Oh. I was like, Pasta, you could have just called me a cunt and there wouldn't have been any problems.
Keychi is a lovable cinnamon roll.
I would have been fine with it. I'm like, okay, no, all right. All she said was like, good day twice. It was dismissive, but you know.
Good day, sir. I said good day, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be right back. My Skype is apparently about to crash.
Oh, you missed it too. I took one of Tommy Oliver's old quotes, edited it to today, and I was like, I sure hope Pasta doesn't call my girlfriend a cunt. He saw that and exploded on me. I was like, hey, Pasta, I rused you.
I need to get back into the scene, not because I give a shit about analysis and stuff like that, but just because of the drama. There's no shortage of it.
Oh, it's entertaining.
Graham, you are you in limbo right now?
I'm in the limbo chat, yeah, I love.
Oh, yeah, no, sir, I'd keep you updated, absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes I even read some of the chat.
Yeah.
I imagine Graham with those fancy binoculars on a stick, and he just holds them up going, I say, that is... Wow.
Right, guys, just a close eye on the mute on Skype and the mute on OBS, so I don't accidentally mute myself on Skype and then start jacking off, and you can hear it on the OBS recording.
I'd leave it in there. So
This is specifically switched to Owen's version, just for the podcast.
This is why the only true mute that I accept is a hardware mute on the microphone.
Yeah, it's actually going into sound.
Yeah,
and then
that is the only true mute.
Absolutely. You know what? I completely agree with you. I'm going to open up my shit. There we go. I can just mute it.
I'm so tempted to leave that part in about Owen jacking off. I'm waiting for Sarah to come in during the goddamn conversation about Owen jerking.
Oh, you know, I was looking, thinking.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching
too.
too.
She's going to hear is me saying jacking off.
It's like, I've had a little.
I say it, the more I'm risking it.
I know. We're gonna go for a good solid half hour without her here, just talking about Owen rubbing one out.
Jesus Christ.
Are you more of a righty or a lefty, Owen? This is gonna be a King of Limbo right now.
My King of Limbo.
Well, screw it if she doesn't show up.
She just asked if we were starting. She's fine.
Okay, I'm just screwing
We are
around
10
now.
minutes ahead of schedule.
Yeah, Anna, we love you. Please don't be mad. Please don't report me to Anon KP links. I'm a good person. Not really. Yep.
Huh, that's interesting. She has more subscribers than Toon Critic.
All right then.
I don't know how that's interesting. That's not different.
British Ninja's a star fucker, you see.
Yes.
So, speaking of which, Owen, did you see that? Oh, there, we're going to stop talking about that immediately.
No, what? You can't do that, Anthony. That's
I was going to mention something about the brony notion, and I was like, nah, Anna's here. We're good now.
What about him?
Oh, he just wanted to get in touch with somebody for like a year now, and I was like, I don't have any opinion, negative or positive, about that at all, because I love all God's creatures.
Anthony was just telling us what a wonderful fellow he truly is.
Oh, that notion. Oh.
Oh,
I
great.
just saw him in the comments and I was like, if you're asking someone in a comment to like talk to you on Skype, I don't think they want to talk to you.
Wait,
No.
he would. What?
Okay, Owen, freaking, he tapped Inkros on the shoulder, and he's like, he mentioned to me somewhere else. I'm gonna have to edit a lot of this. Maybe, maybe not. You know what? I should leave it in and timestamp it
into the next edition of How Not to Brony.
Yeah, well, no, not until something goes horribly wrong. He said he was looking to talk to Inkros, and he's like, I've tried to get a hold of her for a year now, is what he told me in PM, in confidence.
How do you...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you've got a secret, Anna, don't tell me.
What?
Oh, don't worry what I just said. You're good. Tell me all your secrets. Especially now.
Pay no mind to this strange American.
Yeah.
That's what it truly is.
Let's do the intro. All our recordings, I imagine, are good right now, right?
Yes.
All right.
Hells yeah, boys.
This is FNG Star, and today we're doing on this King of Limbo. We're joined by Graham, Ask a Sane Brony.
Hello.
Owen from Equestria Confidential.
Hey.
Tricky Fox from Germany.
Howdy.
British Ninja from, was it Brumshire?
Birmingham, you are.
Birmingham.
Greetings.
Birmingham, you insensitive clod.
And Anna, what's the channel's name again? Anna from this week's King of Limbo. Yeah, I know.
Hello.
Hello, indeed.
I think he was actually asking what the channel name was. I don't think he was joking.
It's an Itsannachloem, I believe.
Yeah,
Itsannachloem, yeah.
Itsannachloem. I didn't want to say it wrong and sound freaking ethnically or culturally insensitive.
It's just a name.
I know. Okay. Well, some people get really, touchy about using the wrong name or pronouns or this, that, and the other. And I don't know if Anna is from Tumblr.
You just triggered me by even mentioning Tumblr right now.
Well,
that's just it. You say Anna, but it's actually pronounced Anna.
Oh, no.
Well, at least it's not
Did you
Reddit.
just assume her title?
Did you just misgender me? I'm joking.
I promise nothing.
Dude.
Well, you can be whatever gender you want to be.
Yes, the many talents of being a voice actor.
Uh-huh.
See, Anna, and again, you're free to pass on any of these questions.
Voice actor. I was just actually going into a question,
Oh, go ahead.
like a conversation. I was just saying, not an actual question. I was literally saying, so I hear you're a voice actor, and now this entire situation has become extremely awkward.
Yes, it has. Why did you do that?
Because I was trying to drag us on the topic. And then you guys started.
Graham is a smooth operator. That's what that is.
You interrupted Anthony.
No,
Start.
I'll have you know, Graham used to be the lead singer of Static X. I've seen him.
Right.
You insensitive
Ask
body
a damn
dead,
question, please.
and that was a loss to the world.
Well, yes, I'm sorry. Well, now I have to throw her a softball question here. Share your thoughts on Undertale. I've seen that you've done some work on that.
Well, I've played the entire game. Oh, I say the entire game.
What kind of
I say the entire game. I'm too much of a wuss. I didn't do the genocide.
Genocide run is overrated.
Oh, are you soft-hearted?
No, I couldn't do it. I only did pacifist, and then I got the neutral ending, and then I was terrified, and I was like, oh god, everything's ruined. Then I realised, I could just reopen the game and actually get back into the game, because I didn't realise that you could actually defeat Flower. Anyway, yeah, but I was too much of a wuss. Oh, sorry. I was too much of a wuss to do the genocide route, because I love them all, and I didn't want to kill them.
Oh, speaking of the genocide run, what do you think of German bronies? Wow, that was horrible.
Wow.
No.
I'm friends with a lot of German bronies. I don't know why my
I literally
voice is
had the
like
question
this.
written down, what do you think of German bronies? I was like, what a wonderful segue. I'm going to go for it.
Jesus Christ, Andrew. Okay, so
Seriously, Anthony.
I noticed.
Was that really necessary?
I'm sorry.
How was that relevant at all?
I'm sorry. I'll edit it out. It's fine. You know what? Let's change this to some. Let's go with something that'll make everyone happy in the call. What makes you proud to be from England?
Well, I could be awful and say the Queen, but that's a lie. Could also say our politics, but that's also a lie. I guess we make good tea.
Huh? Oh, what's your favorite kind?
See, I'm not really that much of a stickler for different types of tea. Got some Earl Grey fans, but I'm kind of give me a good cup of tea and I'm done. I'm done for the day.
Let's go down onto the basic brands then. Are we talking PG Tips? Are we talking Tetley? Are we talking Yorkshire?
That came aggressively.
You better answer correctly.
I don't even
None
think
because
there's
tea
no
is
one.
awful.
Oh.
So I guess it depends. What does Earl Grey Picard always get when he goes to a replicator and says, "Tea, Earl Grey, hot. Make it so."
Well, if Anna doesn't have a correct answer, then it might be she's using store brand tea, and that would be deplorable.
PG Tips has like a different taste to the rest of them, to my memory.
This stuff
Okay,
is
so
really
you're a
York
PG
City.
Tips kind of person then.
No, I think I might be a Yorkshire person.
Oh, that'd be my choice. I don't drink tea very often, but when I do, I drink Yorkshire.
You sound like you're advertising it.
My word.
How much are they paying?
I don't drink tea
Just
very
brand.
often, but when I do, I always drink Yorkshire.
I wanted a picture of Graham's OC looking like the New Yorker cover when he said that.
Hashtag non-sponsored.
So, Anna, I noticed recently you've opened up the £1 commissions for voice acting. What's the strangest line that you've gotten so far?
Oh boy.
Well, actually, it's $1 commission, so I'm selling myself even shorter.
I don't know.
So you
Thanks,
should
Brexit.
definitely invest in it. I haven't had anything too weird. I've had a couple of ones where I'm like, okay, this is all right. It's a little strange, but it's okay. I've had like this guy that was like being really nice about it, and I was totally fine to do it. It was like him like needing like a motivation from Princess Celestia. So like he had this little thing, and he was like, read this as Celestia to motivate me to go do something, and I was like, okay, all right, okay, that's fine.
The safe answer, of course, would be that you ended up in limbo, which is that's the strangest thing that happened to anyone.
You corny bastard. What's your favorite English city?
Do you know where I went, which was very nice recently? Bristol. Bristol's quite nice.
Bristol's not nice.
Wow! Oh my god, Owen!
I live near Bristol. I'm allowed to say that.
I don't know.
Well, from an outsider
yeah.
point of view, because my main city is Brighton, so I can go, that's all right, you know. But I kind of liked Bristol of what I saw of it.
Did you have any thoughts on Brighton there, Owen?
Let's look at the options. I mean, you know, London is pretty crap. You know,
Yeah.
Manchester's pretty crap. And
Birmingham
most
has
of the
nice
cities-
curry.
Sheffield's
Birmingham's
quite
pretty
nice.
crap. Yeah. I mean, and plus also, if you're in Bristol, then you're not far from Bath, and Bath is really, really nice. So
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I will completely agree with you there.
All right.
Bath might be the only pretty town in all of England, actually, I think.
The truly pretty town, not just like litter on the side
Like
of the
Bristol.
Are you? Owen, was you asking something?
Shitting on Bristol again.
Okay.
What were you expecting, Anthony?
I don't know. You should title the next Equestria Confidential. Fuck Bristol.
Stop making this about me. You do this every single time.
Well, you keep wanting to be the guest, so I'm trying to meet you halfway, man.
Some people remember.
Okay, now remember you
It's
don't.
horrible.
You don't have to answer any of these questions here, and I'll repeat this. For projects, what is your strike zone for, say, I don't know, slave labor?
Woohoo! 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 Well, my friend made a video recently about voiceover and compensation, and she was saying like anything is like, oh, you can't take up 5 minutes of my time. It's a good video, but I disagreed with that point she made. If someone's going to ask you, if it's something that you want to do, because there's a difference between something you want to do and something like you kind of pressured into, where someone's like, can you do this for me please, and then you're like, oh, okay, all right, and then there you get the script and it's like, or I don't even remember agreeing to this, and now I have this 20-page long script to record.
Oh, wow.
So if someone asks you to do a
that'd
line or two, and they're not horrible people, like, I don't know, I can't think of names.
God, no.
Okay.
No. If it's like for a comic dub, or like, I'm even cool with like 10-page scripts. I mean, I'm in big projects, like a lot of big projects. I'm in like a lot of big projects. Sorry.
Okay,
You know what? If you want to answer any of the questions like Kimmy Sparkle, that would be A-okay.
I'm in a lot of big projects.
Okay,
I don't even remember how that voice. It's been a while since I've done
Let me
it.
throw some names at you.
But you,
Okay, just out of curiosity, what's the biggest project you have worked on so far?
I don't really know. I guess Princess Trixie Sparkle would definitely be up there in terms of brony fandom ones. I mean, I've been in a couple of indie games, but in terms of ones, I don't know, because they're all, there's none that's, there's none that's really comparative, like, they're all so great for different reasons and big for different reasons. Yeah, I guess I would say Princess Trixie Sparkle if we're talking about bronies and stuff.
Well, what games have you been in? I'm
It does sound like you're doing quite a lot. I mean, how many projects are you doing
Very
a week?
impressive.
Do you think? You know, like, do you record? Do you find yourself recording often, like more than once a week, or is it just every?
Oh yeah, like last week I did about 3 different recording sessions, maybe.
Oh yeah. So you're doing a
So
lot.
like, and at least like 3 hours each or something.
Oh
So
wow, yeah.
there's.
Do you have a day job on top of that, or is it just full-time voice acting?
Oh God, no! I'm not full. Well, the thing, most of the time I'm not paid, so it wouldn't really
Wow.
compensate me.
oh,
I do singing lessons and guitar lessons at the moment, just as a part-time thing, and then because I'm moving out soon, then I'll have a full-time job and do freelance as well.
well, if you don't,
That was pretty awesome.
if you don't mind me
Cool.
asking, what's the worst job you've ever had?
Well, you know when you make a list of like the worst jobs ever, I've done washing up twice as a job, and I'm still in awe of how I did it twice. Like
Washing
5,
up? I don't follow.
as in dishes.
Cleaning the
Oh,
dishes.
okay.
It's a
Yeah,
foreign concept to Americans.
So doing the dishes, you know, in like a professional restaurant. I say professional restaurant, restaurant, cafe, and you are the one tasked with all the plates and all the cutlery and all the cups and all the stuff that the cooks are using. You have to clean that up. And you have to make sure it's clean for them to use again.
I would probably be the guy that chatters like every third one. But I think what Anthony actually meant is what's the worst project you ever worked on as a voice actor?
I thought
Oh
you
no,
meant,
that
like,
was a different
job.
question,
I
but
was
we can
like,
get there now too.
Yeah,
Either
it
or.
really messed up my hands. It really messed up my hands. I have like an extra finger. No, I'm joking.
How?
It
Prune
gave me a
fingers.
weird rash on my hands. Anyway, but in terms of worst job, I don't want to say the obvious one that you might be thinking,
Ah,
because
I
it isn't
have.
actually the worst one I've had.
Well, you know
Oh.
what? Throw some hypothetical. What sort of things go wrong on those hypothetical kind of jobs?
Yeah, because I'm struggling to think of like an exact example. It's person running it.
Yeah.
Doing bad leadership jobs, because I've had people like
Tell you what, I know how do we get around this? We call that person Voldemort. Will that do okay?
oh no, I wasn't even referring to that person yet. I was just saying generally, because like honestly, I have had some people like, especially when I was just starting out, being like, oh, you know, I've had some people be really horrible to me. Because when I was starting out, I was like constantly compared to MemJ. So even though they'd be like, oh, I liked your audition, they'd be like, oh no, I'm holding out for MemJ, or I'm, I'm holding out for Eiley Monty. I
that's
get
how
the
I
Eiley
treat-
Monty
that's how I
comparison.
That's how I treat Owen. I'm like, I'm holding out for Graham to show up.
Yeah, and then I had someone cast me before, and then the next day go, oh no, actually we went with someone else's audition.
after
Like-
they told you that you got it, they went with someone
After
else.
they told me they'd got it, and and then literally I'd asked them like, oh, do you have any of the instrumentals? And nothing, because it was for the singing thing. And then the day later I get pulled into this group chat, and they're like, we have to talk to you. And I'm like, what? And they're just like basically trying to be like, I've decided instead to cast this person instead. I'm sorry. I'm like, you just don't do that to people. Anyway, it's just it's I just say like respect and yeah. That's what I think. Especially if you're doing it for free, you've got to be respectful and a good leadership person. A good leadership person. Nice words. Okay.
Yeah, well, also, it's just a matter of sort of just not messing people about either. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not hard.
I mean, well, yeah, and also like in instances like that where the job got handed to someone else, that was probably a case of the person that they really wanted was just delayed in their response, or said no and then said yes, or something like that. But it's just like, if you're not sure, then say you're still making the decision.
Yes, don't.
If you're still
go.
waiting, yeah, exactly, and it's just
Actually, I do know because I actually knew the person who actually got the part. And
Right,
they were
yeah.
my friend.
God,
And they were like,
oh.
I didn't know at all. This guy just asked me to send an audition. I sent it in, and then obviously he was like, "Oh, now I've got this audition, and now I prefer it more."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's slightly awkward. I mean, the only time I've ever been in a similar situation to that was when I was on the project management side of it, and we sent the audition to 2 different voice actors who happened to be friends, and one of them who was our first choice and had previously done the part got super offended that we also asked the other person to do it as well, and we were just like, whoa, we're just covering bases. We haven't made a decision yet or anything. We're just checking if someone else can do it as well. And so sometimes it can be it's really hard to gauge it sometimes. But when you've actually made a decision, that needs to be final, I think.
So they were under the impression that because they'd had it before, that was it. They were going to have it again. And okay.
And yeah, I mean, it was just like, yeah, don't get me wrong. And I said to them afterwards, I said, you were very much our first choice. We were just checking who else was available in case you weren't, because we were under time constraints. So, it was just like that was the sensible thing to do. But
it wasn't done in spite or anything. It was just done in
exactly. But certainly, if you say to someone you've got the part, and then someone else gets back to you, it's just like no. At that point, you go, no, sorry, we gave them the part. It's done now.
Yeah. If you were too late to respond, then you were too late to respond. They got there first.
Pretty much, yeah.
Say, what's your most proud accomplishment as a voice actor? Like a project came out that you were in, you were like, fuck yeah, I was amazing in this project.
Well, I'm really happy with the Pymations Elements of Cringe.
Oh, wait,
That's really weird that you say that, because I was just thinking she's not going to say Elements of Cringe. Not going to say. I don't know why. I just thought that you weren't.
No, I loved it. I loved it. I was at BronyCon and everything where he premiered it, and I was in the audience like.
Fine.
It was quite funny because there were. Do you want to hear a story about BronyCon? After this animation panel ended, it was very mad. It was the Pika Pete and Pymations and 3 other people up there who didn't say anything. Although I imagine the people who were at that panel would agree with me. Although I think I was biased towards the animation panel because my boyfriend was on it. It was at the end of this panel, KP was a few seats to the side of me, and prior to the convention I had sent her a message regarding some of this Fluttershy's baby stuff, like not like aggressive, it was kind of like passive aggressive, kind of like, what are you doing? And
yeah.
I'd sent her a PM.
Just as a quick thing, is this before or after the fiasco?
This is
Before the
BronyCon, so before.
So before the fiasco.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
this was
I was
before that,
trying to
yeah.
reach out to her privately, like,
Yeah.
excuse me, what's going on here? Can you provide an explanation? Because we'd been working together for like a year, and I thought, and she never replied. Between the time of her not replying, I saw her at BronyCon in person, and she was a few seats away from me. And after the panel finished, I decided to go hi, and she went hi, and then kind of like walked off.
Yeah,
and
later.
then she was like, "Hi," and then kind of like a little bit. There was someone, I think he was probably mentally handicapped in some way because he was being, I don't know, I don't mean to sound rude or assuming because of that, but he was shouting out randomly and being very awkward and weird.
Tourette's,
Yes.
perhaps.
Yeah, something like that. And something that happened, I can laugh about this now, but I was really like, oh, okay, in the moment. He saw that I had said hi to KP, and he was like, and he looked at my badge, he was like, oh, because, if she knows if KP knows her, then who is she? And then she was like, he looked down, he was like, oh, never mind, never heard of you. And then just walks off.
Wow.
Well, fuck you too, buddy.
Sorry for a second. Sorry, I thought you were Ellie Monty.
Wow.
Wow.
It was like, okay, I get it, but you don't say that to people. It was really really like rude. He literally just looked down, like, was like, never mind, never heard of you. Just walked off, and I was like,
See that I don't want to get all preachy and serious about this for a moment. But
Yeah, we're not on Graham's channel. He can't be allowed to do that here.
Oh, shut up. But seriously, that is literally the problem with the whole Horsefane thing. people aren't interested in talent. It's like, I mean, if someone comes up and says sort of, oh yeah, no, I'm a voice actor or whatever, you could be like, oh, that's super cool. What kind of projects have you been doing and stuff like that. As soon as you start going, oh, I haven't heard of your name, therefore you're not significant. You're not horse famous, therefore I don't care. Therein lies the exact problem, because it's like, no, the point, this fandom's got so much creativity in it that it shouldn't matter who you are. Like half of the art that I look at and half of the art that I like or reblog on Tumblr, truth be told, I don't even look at who the artist is. I don't really know. I'm just like, this is pretty and I like it, and I reblog it, Yeah. So it's like when someone is sort of, oh, this artist or this VA or this writer or whoever, their name isn't known, therefore I don't care. That is just such a what the hell happened kind of attitude.
It's not like, oh, I don't know you, let me talk to you and, like, get to know you. I found it quite ironic at the time, like, he'd literally just heard my voice on the screen to be like, never heard of you. The irony of that cartoon playing and then,
It was on Horse Fame Safari, by the sounds of it.
Safari?
Yeah, it was on Horse Fame Safari, looking around trying to spot as many as you can.
Ponytown or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, no, I know what he means. Not having experienced that, because I haven't been to a big convention myself.
Oh, I was going to ask you, actually.
And the big convention.
Anna, have you been to any conventions yet, like, say, out there in England or elsewhere?
Well, I went to BronyCon this year, but that was my first ever big convention ever.
You missed BuckCon with such great sites as live analysis with Owen and Graham.
Oh, shut up.
And apparently this ninja guy was also there.
I was there. I wasn't doing a panel. I went up to Graham and he, of course, didn't recognize me. So I went, "Hi, Graham," and he just picked up his bag and left.
Well, oh no!
So I like to think that he did recognize me. And he just really hated me for some reason.
I was just as bad with Owen as well. I had a conversation with Owen, and he touched my beard, and I didn't know who he was. And afterwards, he was just like, I was like, "Owen, I didn't see you there. What happened?" And he was like, "We spoke. We had a conversation. I touched your beard." And I was like, "Oh, that was you. I'm sorry. I didn't realize."
First saw Graham there. He was at a computer, and I waved over him and said, "Hi, Graham," and then he says, "Oh, God." I genuinely thought he was talking about me, but he was talking about something wrong with his computer or something.
Yeah. I was setting up the panel for that room, and things weren't going to plan. And I was like, "Oh God, now some guy's trying to talk to me. What the hell is this? What is this?
Who's this asshole?"
Why is he doing this to me?
So, okay, moving back onto the topic, have you ever used your voice acting talents to prank or trick anyone into thinking you're someone that you're not? Because, I remember a Tara Strong interview where she did all of the voices over the phone, and she used to play pranks on people, like answer the phone as Bubbles or as Twilight.
I was part of the Ponyville Prank Calls, which is a channel which prank called people. Whoa, really? I mean, and I had a couple of those. I think one that I remember clearly was Princess Celestia calling up GameStop, looking for games for Luna.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, God.
And I just had a list of fake names that the person who runs the channel, Rustic, had given me. And I was asking for this weird shit, vanish to the moon. Oh God, oh dear. I've just had a technical difficulty.
Oh,
excuse me.
You said Rustic, is that the one dating Kitty?
Yes.
Rustic. Yeah, we're good friends. Well, I am with Kitty. I find Rustic interesting.
I've spoken to Rustic. He's alright.
Yeah, he's alright. Not entirely.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll move him away.
I don't know who Rustic is, therefore he is not important to me.
Yeah.
So
I've never heard of you. Go away.
So it's now come to light that you have actually used your powers for evil.
Oh yeah, all the time. I use my powers for evil anyway. Don't you worry about it.
So you did mention that you do singing and guitar lessons and stuff like that for people. You mentioned that you were going into full-time work. I mean, are you looking to push the voice acting thing? Well, let's say in an ideal world, would you be wanting to take your voice acting professional, or is it just a hobby?
I would most definitely like to take it professional. I'm just still trying to work out where to start because you've got to have your demo reel, and you've got to have. And I've never made. I did make one demo reel before, and it was really bad. But I need to actually work out how to put some effort into actually making one, and then try and get it started that way.
You could do one of those. You could do one of those songs where you read every other line in a different character's voice or something like that. Because obviously where you do the song covers as well, that'd be pretty good. Because those tend to go viral as well.
So the question was, in an ideal world, so if you could voice any character of your choosing, who would you choose?
Any?
If you could replace the voice actress, just
Oh no! What for replace? Oh
yeah,
god.
kill them and take their place.
yes.
Oh, this is a hard question. The problem is, I love so many voices, like especially Tara Strong one. Even though Tara Strong's a huge egomaniac, I still kind of love that. I still kind of love that though. I only found out she's a huge egomaniac at BronyCon this year because she had her own panel, and like the only people asking, it was meant to be a day in the life of a voice actor, and the only people asking her questions were questions like, how do you do so many voices, and how are you so talented? And like, but to be honest, she's the shit, and she knows that she's the shit anyway. Oh my god.
She's probably the most recognizable voice actor of our time, I think.
Oh god.
Like next to Frank Welker and like.
Or maybe Nolan North.
Oh, I love Nolan North.
Like, if you were as popular as Tara Strong, I think you would get away with being a bit of an egomaniac.
Yeah, well, it's these people that, like, as I said, I mean, excuse my bad language, are this shit and know that the shit.
Well,
they can act like that.
At least she interacts with her fans.
Yeah, I was going to say, it might be that she's not really an egomaniac in real life. She just lays it on thick because she knows that the audience enjoys that kind of thing.
She's used to playing characters already. She plays one in real life too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
God.
much.
Head
Tara
We're going to have to do a psychoanalysis on Tara Strong.
Tara Strong playing Tara Stronger.
I'm just trying to think of some really hard questions.
Okay,
Well,
do you
just-
want us to narrow it down a bit?
Yeah.
Do you prefer anime or Western cartoons?
I'd probably say Western cartoons because
Okay.
I watch anime, but not that much anime.
Shall we
Okay.
limit it down to MLP, or is that too restrictive?
That's way too restrictive, sure.
You put me in a box.
You restrict the past 80 years of animation, or just like a single show that's only been going on for 6 years.
I know who I'd want to voice. I
Tell
want to
us.
voice Minnie Mouse.
Ah.
Minnie Mouse?
Minnie Mouse.
Okay, that's actually pretty sweet.
Because, yeah, wouldn't it be awesome? Like,
Can you give us your Minnie?
what? What is that? Wait, what does she sound like? What does she say?
Oh, like Minnie, I
love you so much. Is that kind of...
I thought it sounded
pretty
like Toot
good, yeah.
Brownstein from Drawn Together.
I love Toot. I can do Toot.
Is that Tara, by the way? I forget.
That is Tara, yeah.
Yeah.
All of you get off my alcohol. Like, I'm not fat. I did a reel of her on my channel. I'll link it.
Let me show you my demos.
Pretty much.
I got a fun question here. Who's the craziest brony you know?
Craziest brony.
Are we
Don't-
talking like an acquaintance or just encountered?
Let's go with either. You know what? Whoever takes
Encountered in
whoever
wild.
takes the cake, you know, someone of
Yes.
note, not some rando.
Please, no persons is called.
Are you talking about like just like a crazy person who happens to be a brony, or like
Most
a
outgoing.
crazy brony?
You know, like oh man, this guy's
Like
crazy.
the-
Not like insane, but like this person's over the
He's a
top.
bit out there, shall we
That's
say.
crazy.
Everybody has that one friend, you know what I'm talking about.
I do know a lot of crazy people, but pinpoint, well, especially being voice actors. Voice actors are all kind of crazy on one level because, I mean, the whole essence of our job is going and talking to yourself for hours on end. Anyone that I know that's actually truly crazy. Do you mean like crazy in like a creepy way, or crazy in like...
Let's just
Just
go with
bonkers.
eccentric, like general.
Yeah, go with eccentric, because otherwise it's not so much a question of who you can think of, but who you're willing to crucify.
The friend who's the strangest person of all your friends, or the brony who's the strangest, most unique. There we go. Who's the most specialist snowflake of them all?
That's a really hard question.
It's like asking who your favourite friend is. That's awful.
I mean, if it's asking who my... Oh, God, no, that is it. I was about to say, I don't even know the answer to that question. I mean, I know some people that, like... I do have a few friends. I mean, I would like to refer to myself in terms of my relationship with broniness and the outside world. Bar my YouTube channel, not many people outside of my friends know I'm a brony. I'm kind of halfway out of the brony closet.
Still in the stable.
Oh, I'm still in the stable. I respect the hell out of that.
I'm not the kind of... I mean, I do have friends who brony t-shirts, and I'm, like, cool with it. I do actually own one pony t-shirt.
Stealth pony t-shirt, so, like, only another brony will recognise it.
It's a MLP/Pusheen kind of, like, t-shirt.
The Alicorn.
You just made Anthony's day.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the MLP is Pusheens, and it's, like, my little Pusheens, and it has, like, a sparkle on.
How would you feel about getting your OC done up like a Pusheen? Because I do know a person.
Do it.
All right, then.
That's a thumbnail sorted.
Yay!
Well, here's a related question.
People with this special set of skills.
Oh wait, I've just thought of an eccentric person. He's not really that much of a close friend, but I got to meet Viva at Viva Reverie at BronyCon.
I saw Vivi there, yes.
Like he's like a wild like fairy. He's just no, but he's so lovely as well, and
I think magnificent
like,
is the term you're
looking for. He just kind of drifts. He's magnificent. He just drifts around with this gorgeous plushie.
I don't think I don't ever want a British person to refer to me as lovely. Oh my god.
Okay, every British person is called. Please call Anthony lovely.
Oh,
no.
You are lovely.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, Jesus.
Absolutely.
All right, fine.
You're lovely, aren't you?
Lovely.
Okay, now I have a serious question.
Really?
So yeah, relating to fandom and stuff like that. Do you consider yourself to be like, in terms of the voice acting work and stuff like that? Do you still say I do voice acting in the brony community, or are you very much sort of no, I do some brony stuff, but I actually do a whole range of stuff? You know, I mean, obviously you've got non-brony projects as well.
Yeah.
But does brony stuff still make up the bulk of your work?
Most definitely. It still makes up the bulk. It's not saying I wouldn't want to do anything else. I just primarily get offers for brony stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get offers for Steven Universe stuff as well, but it's always been 70 to 80% like brony stuff. It's quite funny because you were like, I voice acted in the brony community, and I was like, I have.
Yes.
in a series called the Brony Community, so I was like, oh
yes, okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Brainstorms. Yeah.
That's my boyfriend.
I have to confess at this point.
He's your boyfriend? Oh wow, I didn't know. Small world.
Yeah, that's my Hollywood gossip right there.
Who was that again?
Brainstorm. He's an animator who did the Brony Community series.
Lovely chat. Anyway.
I thought another one that you may choose to pass on. What are your thoughts on Anon KP leaks?
When they started, I actually sent them a tweet. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the High School Musical, but the song they sing at the very beginning called The Start of Something New, where they sing about their new, love and new beginnings and stuff. I very much agreed with that. Because it's a group of people, my interactions with them have been, like, very... I was about to say... not sporadic, I'm trying to think of the right word, but because, like, the person I'm talking to changes all the time. Well, changed all the time, I haven't talked to them in a while. I think they started off great. I think the whole situation with KP after the Flutter baby and the DHX and stuff, I mean, I don't know how many of you are going to agree with me, but, like, as soon as Horse News and stuff got involved, I mean, in terms of the point that I wanted to make with my video, I felt like some of that was lost, and like because people just wanted to call her names and stuff.
What? Well, yeah. There's an individual
really made.
There's an individual I won't bring up by name because it's very gauche not to make examples out of this. But you worked for her, yes?
I did, yes.
Why didn't people just speak up?
Well,
I've heard from Webcake and Maid, I already have that one up, and I can cite that because they openly agreed to say it, that a lot of people just said they'd look at her sub count and they'd look at theirs and like, oh, that's 100,000. I was like, but those 100,000 aren't there arguing with her in the call, like, defending her. That's what I'm confused by, that I don't quite understand that. And I remember hearing, well, she's a producer, she could get you blackballed with the other producers. Like, who? What other producers are you talking about? What circles?
It wouldn't exactly be blackballed. blackballed. But the thing is, speaking out against anyone is a really scary thing to do. I felt nervous making my video. It just really takes a point to reach, and a lot of the time people let things slide, so it's like, oh no, it's fine, you know, and they just kind of like talk about it with their friends, like, ugh, because you know, like, I don't feel like I need to make this public because I don't feel like anything would happen.
I understand what you're saying, Anna. But again, the only difference that I myself and obviously Owen or Ninja can choose to stand with me or contradict me on this one, from someone from the analysis community, all this stuff is like ancient. Like everything about KP is like from a year or 2 years ago. Like we knew all this stuff from like, and we just assumed everybody knew.
Yeah, like when the whole Anon KP thing, people acted surprised. That was the most surprising.
We sat there dumbfounded, and I'm like,
DHX leaks, to be honest.
Yeah, I knew the animator who made that video, and I know for certain that they were DHX leaks because he told me that he used them.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't.
I know animators who worked on it as well.
Dear Lord.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why these things won't come out with. I mean, for the Fluttershy's baby thing, that was something for me that had literally just happened, and I had struggled with, and I was seeing, like, because the voice actors were involved. We were constantly updated, and we were always asking, like, why is this happening? What is going on? Privately, and, like, trying to work out. And we were just getting nothing at all from KP or anyone.
For example, on Fluttershy's baby, if she wanted to host, say, the first video on her channel, and she says, here's the rest on another one, would that have been acceptable?
That would have been, I mean, if she gave us a reason why she did that.
Well, there's do keep in mind.
Yeah,
there were 13 of them.
I know there were 13 of them.
And that would definitely detract. Do you know what subscriber burn is?
Yeah, no, I do. Trust me.
It's just for anyone listening who doesn't seem to understand. Subscriber burn is when basically you put out a bunch of content, your subs decide not to click on it, and it stops alerting their sub box. Now, haven't seen Fluttershy's baby myself. I don't know how many people of KP's regular fans, but if there were 13 videos, I don't know if they'd be in a row or if there'd be one up a month.
I think they were meant to be uploaded weekly or bi-weekly.
Yeah, I never understood that. If this had gone on for 2 to 3 years, she could easily put one out like even quarterly.
However, though, it doesn't make sense still why she would do that because of sub burn, because she doesn't monetize her content. She does it just for fun. So, I mean, to lose some subscribers or have that sub burn, could damage us.
She does it for the fame. If you started to lose the views, she'd go down, which I maybe was confused why she vomited them all out, even on the side channel.
Let's say she released it like once a week. Well, she already releases other videos anyway. So all these videos are done. They're ready to go. She can still carry on making her weekly analysis video or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just going to say that it doesn't really work then. Like, the subscriber burn doesn't work if people are still watching the analysis video she uploads every week. And
can I just say the reason that one of her team gave to us of why they were put on a separate channel.
What was that?
The reason why it was put on a separate channel was apparently because it would distract from the weekly content.
It wouldn't
distract from it would be overshadowed by the weekly content.
So instead we put it on a channel which has no viewers instead of a channel which has 100,000. I mean, let's be honest, KP's fans are horribly like, they will be distracted by a butterfly flying through their window. They need constant attention.
Hold it. The thoughts and opinions of British Ninja do not necessarily reflect the thoughts and opinions of King of LImbo.
That's okay. I'm fine with that. Like, KP's fans are horribly impatient.
There are a lot of young fans in the brony community, without a doubt, and I'm sure she has a lot of young fans as well. I mean, I have a few young fans. That's why I don't really swear on.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on young fans in Ninja? Do you look down upon them?
No, I don't. But like, it's just a fact that KP's fans are very like impatient when it comes to stuff, and that would contrast with something like an audio drama where you have to sit down and listen to it and look at the pretty art and stuff like that. It's a lot more.
Yeah, well, KP's content is very entertainment.
Yeah, it's very fast paced.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with being entertainment driven. It's just a different subgenre of this fandom. You know, some analysis videos that are very dry and very sort of factual and, well, analytical, whereas KP's content is very much from the entertainment perspective. It's akin to reaction videos, just obviously there's a bit more to it than reactions. However, and as I say, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I think to say that you're putting it on a separate channel because you think it's going to detract or otherwise, come off as bad on the channel, I that doesn't gel with me, and it kind of annoys me because I know another channel completely unrelated to the brony fandom who does this. They have a separate channel that they put other content on, and I'm always like, why do you put this out on a separate channel?
You have separate channels for other content. I do that all the damn time. The difference is, the difference is where I would hold her to this. She didn't try it. Like if she would have put like one or two up there and they would have sank right into the ground, I would have probably then considered it, or at the very least like sat down and talked with everybody. And be like, look, this is really hurting. I'll probably put up an annotation here. I'll make a playlist, which would be perfect. I'll put it right underneath uploads.
Here's the thing.
Well, the least thing she could have done is making a trailer video on her channel and not waiting until everyone on Twitter is talking about her to publish the trailer video.
Yeah, I was
and
mostly...
the trailer video was leaked.
There is also the thing...
I mean, sorry, what did I say?
Well, yeah.
And apparently the trailer video is around since January, so why wait until the whole audio book is uploaded on that other channel and wait another few weeks before you put out the trailer?
It also reflects very poorly on her when she made a Great Gatsby fan fiction animation jerking herself off and put that on her channel.
Here's another thing. She has the video file. She could still upload it to her channel, like separately. Now, she could just remove them from the other channel and try putting them out on here as an apology, but she's not doing that.
The
Fluttershy's baby. She could just download the video and then re-upload them on her channel, almost as if an apology. Shocker.
If you threw up 13 videos all in a row.
Not at once. No, do what you said. Like, download them once a week or once a month even.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is now because of all the controversy around them, they all have 10,000 views or something.
Yeah.
So I don't.
But she doesn't do it for the money.
And she did make a promo video. And she did upload that promo video.
I don't know. I haven't done super amounts of research into it because as I mentioned in the chat earlier on today, I'm somewhat out of touch with the analysis community these days. I feel like KP's problem is that I think the general issue was that she and the team and people working on her got wrapped up in the project. Like that was all that mattered, was putting out these videos, and no one at any point ever stopped to go, hold on a sec, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we doing this again? What is our purpose here? And sometimes that is what happens. Sometimes and it's happened to me on projects I've worked on where we've had to stop and say, look, we like doing this, but we are torturing ourselves to do this for zero realistic payoff here. So why are we throwing away why are we spending every minute we're not in our full-time jobs, we are working on this? Why are we doing this again? And I feel like that's what happened. I think, a lot of people slate anyone who ever worked for KP going sort of, you were brainwashed or you were under the thumb or something like that. And I'm like, no, I think what happened was that, they were just like, no, there is a project and I want to work on the project because I have a passion to get the job done. I think that's what happened. But at some point, and I think almost KP herself is in the same trap where it might not be 100% ego with her. To be kind to KP for a moment, it might be that she's fallen into her own trap where she's forgotten just exactly why she's doing this again. All that seems to matter is the project kind of thing, and not why you're doing it or who you're doing it for or what the payoff is for everyone involved, I don't know if that's making sense.
I totally agree with you, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's what happens. So when people get really savage about it, I'm just like, well, just hold back a bit because I don't think there was malicious intent here. And I think obviously there's a bit of ego involved. There might be a lot of ego involved. But I think to say that it was 100% ego might be a bit unfair.
Okay, I can still take her side, but not nearly that bad when you say that there was no malicious intent. When you let someone get away with something, they're never going to stop themselves. I mean, if I had a legion of people working for me around the clock and just give me this stuff, and you had people going in between so you can't be told no yourself, you would stop. Even it would never come to your attention if I I'd heard that basically she had like her head person, I don't know if it was Jay Moore or whoever, you can jump in if you want with that, Anna. You'd probably complain, get replaced. You would know that, you could say maybe she doesn't know there's a problem, but I don't think it would even go so far as that. It got set up in such a way where there's no way she could have known, I guess, maybe, sort of, kind of.
What do you mean?
I'd heard that she had a lot of go-betweens, like, you know, you'd talk to her head editor, right?
Yes. And, I mean, but the thing is, when I did work for her, I did voicing in her analysis videos every now and then, but quite often it would be quite a quick deadline, like, oh, can you get this to me tomorrow? And I'd be like, okay. And she was perfectly nice and fine to me. I've seen that she's a nice person. The problem that I had is, because it is, at the end of the day, it's her. She is representing this channel, and she is representing her team. And if all this, you know, I don't know what to say, she needs to take responsibility for her actions. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I was going to say, I think when you say it's her name on the channel kind of thing, to be honest, I think that's the point that really needs to be driven home as well, is that I feel like a lot of people in the audience have no idea about production at all. They just watch the video. They have no clue. It doesn't occur to them that there is more than one person behind this channel kind of thing. And I think that is the issue. That's my principal beef with KP, is that as far as anyone is concerned, as far as like 90% of her subscribers are probably concerned, they're probably not aware that there even is a team kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue, is that, you know, all of this, all of the hard work, all of the tight deadlines and stuff like that, a lot of people, as far as any of the audience is concerned, KP is the one who is making all of this content.
Well, then they wouldn't be watching her videos. She routinely makes jokes about her team.
Well, yeah, that's just it. I think that is the problem, is that, you know, it's that is the mistake that she made, is that at no point is there any kind of sort of, you know, thanks to all the, you know, here are the credits for the people who made this video possible kind of thing.
She has updated that recently, and I do have to give her props for that.
On the other hand, if you've ever seen her moment with Dr. Wolf where she's like, tee-hee, I don't know why people are quitting. I kind of do suspect she knew.
Yeah.
That seemed very tongue-in-cheek, like, haha, I'm an ass, what are you going to do about it, is the vibe I got off that video. And I was like, okay, well, that's how it is. I guess there's no fixing it.
Yeah. Before I was working for her and during, I'd heard all the KP horror stories, you know. It's willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. And then it's like when they prove you're wrong, then you're like, really?
If you're getting worked up, Anna, we could break.
Me?
Oh, no, just in your tone, I was concerned that you were getting a little worked up there.
Oh, no. I was just, that was just my emotion. I'm an actress, don't worry.
I get what you mean there as well. It's always that unfortunate, there's a very unpleasant realization when someone who you know has had trouble with previous employers or employees kind of thing. You know, when you start working with them, you think, oh, it'll be different. They seem like a really nice person. And then when you realize, no, it was them. It wasn't the previous people they were working with. It was them. Yeah. And you're like, fuck, now I'm stuck in the same trap, you know? And it's just, there's that horrible realization when it happens to you. And it's happened to me on a couple of times when I've realized the same thing. And then you're just like, oh, how do I get out of this? You know, just mainly, not because, I mean, obviously at any time you could just say no. You could say, you know, get lost. I don't want to do this. But just no one wants the confrontation. That's what we dread about all of this, is just at some point you've got to accept that you're going to have that confrontation, whether it's directly with the person or whether it's by making the YouTube video that addresses the issue. At some point you have to do it, and it sucks.
I wanted to bring this up here. Again, this is slightly... Well, I'd say this is directed where people are like, oh, Brony's not going to be around forever. I can't mention the person once again because I don't want to be involved. You know, Brony will be over, and then, you know, we'll move on to regular things. Who here is familiar...
Bronies will be over?
Yeah. But yeah. But who here is familiar with that movie Sausage Fest?
Yeah, I know that.
Okay,
movie.
And then obviously I'm going to bring up right now, half the people on there, was it not paid or not credited or this, that, and the other. I'd like to point that out to all the bronies. Oh, you know what? All day will come. I was like, yeah, learn to shut up now, and then for the rest of your life, that's going to be you. Learn to shut up, learn to take it in the face, and that's going to be the rest of your life. Just think about that.
Yeah.
Did you read the story about the sausage party animators though?
Not nearly enough, but go on.
I was not aware aware there was an issue, to be honest. I'm aware of the film's existence and what it is, but I didn't know there was an issue with people not getting credited and stuff.
Yeah.
To my
They
message.
were paid no overtime.
Yeah.
Like, they were seriously overworked. And, with an animation staff, that might be because they were falling behind and they had a final schedule that they needed to meet. It's just normally a thing that happens.
Apparently poorly directed in terms of animation as well. So a lot of people quit, and even though their work was in the film, they weren't paid for it or credited for it. Or no, they weren't paid for their overtime hours. They weren't paid for their overtime hours that they'd spent on it, and they weren't credited in the film because they'd quit.
Yeah, the animation industry is not that pretty as far as I know.
I think a lot of it comes down to, I find a shocking number of people who have no understandable little concept of contracts as well. Let's take an easy example with fandom commissions. For sale of merchandise and drawn art or plushies and things like that. The amount of times I see people saying sort of, oh, I commissioned this art piece, the person hasn't gotten back to me. I've paid them the money, they haven't delivered and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, okay, when did they say they were going to do it? And they said, oh, we didn't have a deadline. I'm like, oh, okay, well, how were they paid? I'm like, I paid them at the convention. I'm like, do you have a receipt? They're like, no. So you gave someone money, you have no receipt, no proof of purchase, you have no agreement for what was sold, when it is to be delivered, or what even it is.
The trick I always like to tell people
with the best will in the world, you just got burnt, my friend. And I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen.
The best advice
running conventions, where I say to all of our vendors and I say to all of our attendees, I say, you must get some kind of basic written agreement or contract that states exactly what you're getting involved with. So that way, as soon as someone starts dicking you about, you can say, no, this is what our agreement says. I have done my side of the agreement. Therefore, I will be reimbursed as per our agreement.
The way I've gotten
But so many people just don't understand that.
All right, Anthony.
I was about to say, the best way I've always managed to get this to work, and that's why I haven't burnt any bridges with the people that I've commissioned for my artwork, is you always dangle the next one in front of them. You keep them on that treadmill. The minute you get this one done, I'll buy the next one off you, whether that's true or not. And that'll be more elaborate and cost even more money. You gotta dangle more money in front of them. You keep them grinding that stuff out.
But then you're just pouring more and more money.
No, you don't pay until they're done with the first one. Yeah. You could just be like, oh, things changed now,
You can say many bad things about Anthony, but at least he always pays his artists.
I do.
Yeah. Although the problem is that I think a lot of the time when things go wrong, as per they might have with Sausage Party or whatever, it's like, it's all very well saying, oh, when you get this done, I'll give you the next commission. At that point, the artist might not want another commission. They just want out of the whole situation.
You don't pay more than you're willing to lose.
Yeah, if they were happy with things as they were, they probably would have gotten the commission done already anyway. So it's like, I have this in work, people say, oh, when you finish my, I fix computers for a living. They say, oh, when you've done this one, I've got another one. I'm like, man, I don't want to be doing the one that I've got. I don't want to.
My other advice to people buying artwork, it's like going to a casino. You don't put in more than you want to, you want to risk losing.
Yeah. You got to be prepared to lose whatever money you're spending, I guess. But yeah, I think this is the thing, and this is the the unofficial advice I would give to people who are getting involved with anything in a fandom. If you're doing any kind of voice work, or if you're doing art or any kind of collaboration, if there is an expectation of a reward, whatever that reward is, then I recommend making sure that there is a written agreement so everyone knows exactly what's involved. I mean, I did a little bit of voice work myself recently. The project itself hasn't come out. It was someone's student project. So, I'll probably never actually see it. I did it for a laugh because I wanted to experiment. But I waived my fee because I'm an amateur and I don't know what I'm doing. I waived my fee in exchange, and they offered me a free art commission. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. That seems like a good trade, because I didn't want to charge money for an amateur, for amateur voice lines. But the first thing I did was to ensure that there was at least one email between us that had everything in full, saying, cool, so I'm going to do this script that you have attached to this email, and you are going to deliver me this commission in return. That's all you need. That's simple. Just something that says this is what's going to be done and this is when it will be done by. And that's what I say to a lot of people. If you're getting into anything like that, just make sure there is some kind of agreement like that in place.
The other advice I'd give on that is don't never hope for one big lump payoff. Like, say, waiting 2 to 3 years for a project to get done. Jesus. There comes to be a point where you, inside your head, you're like, oh, it's not happening.
That's what we were like, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, no, I talked to a few people that were involved in that, and they just assumed it went south, that it went right in the garbage.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, it is happening. And then I was like, what?
Would you have felt... it almost sounds like you would have felt better if it did just get shelved.
Yeah, like if you let sleeping dogs lie.
I wouldn't have, because, I mean, I put a lot of work into it. I voiced 3 characters, and there was a lot of lines in terms of me, even though I listened back to my voice acting and that, and I go, because it's 2 years old.
You would have been happy if it were released 2 years ago.
Yes, I would have been. At that point, I was like, yeah, I would have been happy if it was released. Definitely 2 years ago.
Yeah. Sometimes the point is just like, look, I'm not entirely happy with the work that was done, but after everything we've gone through, I just want something to show for it, kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, moving on to a more positive tone, perhaps, and like sticking with the whole fandom stuff. Do you still watch the show?
I do. That was very hestant. I do.
Are you trying to convince Anna, me or you?
I mean, I have watched the last episode I watched was Heartswarming Eve, not Say Goodbye to Holiday. Heartswarming Eve.
That's a good episode to have watched.
Yeah,
to be honest.
that one. See, I know it's
The
so
musical
well.
episode.
The music
Christmas episode in May. Yeah.
Yeah. However, those are the only, that one and the opener is the only episodes I've seen in season 6 so far. So I'm very behind. However, I am not like 3 seasons behind.
You're not one of the, because it's just, right now it just seems to be another season of lots of people going, oh, I don't even watch the show anymore. What am I even still doing here, kind of thing. And and it's sometimes it's kind of relief just when you talk to someone, they're like, yeah, I mean, sure, I don't sit down and watch it every Saturday morning, but yes, I still watch the show. Because, do you still feel invested in it as well, though? Or do you think, do you still feel like the brony fandom is, so here's the crux question, I guess, that I've been leading into. Do you still think that the brony fandom are fans of the show, or do you think we are just a completely separate fandom about colourful equine horses now?
That is an amazing BS. Why did you not make a video for that? My word, Graham, I would watch that. If you could spin that narrative.
Honestly,
The phrase is fans of the fandom.
Yeah.
That's the one you're looking for?
I'm making this question up as I go, but do you see what I mean, kind of thing?
But that is a brilliant idea.
I see exactly what you mean, and I completely agree with you. Yeah, sorry, the one thing that I noticed when I went to BronyCon is there were people in MLP cosplay, but then there were tons of people in like Steven Universe cosplay and Overwatch cosplay, and God, there was, and the merch they were selling as well. It wasn't all My Little Pony, and yeah, I noticed that at BronyCon, and I really think, again, like my friends were asking me, oh, is there like MLP fans everywhere? Because they're not bronies, my real friends.
Yeah. Your IRL friends.
my IRL friends.
Normal.
They were like, oh, were you just watching My Little Pony all the time? And it's like, not particularly. It's more like a community that was originally brought together with My Little Pony, and now we're just kind of festering around making horse stuff.
Okay, let me ask you about this. When you yourself went to BronyCon, were you more excited to meet people you knew from the fandom or meet show staff?
I didn't meet any show staffs.
There you go, Graham.
Actually, I did meet one. I was more excited to meet people that I've worked with before and people that I look up to, and etc.
Yeah, there's another reason I wanted to mention that is that fans their names slip my mind. People within the fandom don't charge $20 for an autograph.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous! I was so
Dr. Wolf, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Dr. Wolf charged for autographs. I thought you were talking about Black Griffin.
I don't pay attention to brony musicians. Owen, you know that. That comes from some other garbage podcast.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, Black Griffin was charging for autographs, as well as Michelle Creeper.
Well, Michelle Creeper's from the show.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, so Black Griffin, he voiced a pony in the crowd in the Our Town song in the season 5 premiere, I'll have you know.
Well, I don't have a hate boner for Black Griffin like 4chan does.
No, I only know that actually because when I went to the Great British BronyCon last year, people were like, but he's not a part of the show. And the guys there with him was like, yeah, he is. He was in the premiere. He He did the singing in the
Graham,
premiere.
if you had that role,
That's-
you would hold it over all our heads. You know you would. You'd be like, I'm on
absolutely.
the show. Yeah, I would
I've
too.
actually been in the show, even if I was just a voice that
Yeah.
in a crowd of voices.
Yeah.
Clearly, on
This is
frame
why- he was
25, you could see
charging
Applejack
$20
shoving me out of the way.
Snips and Snails' dad got like more of a voice line of prominence. Jesus.
Black Griffin
I
is one of
genuinely
those
think they shouldn't be
situations-
charging for autographs, though. To be honest.
Well, that's not just to MLP. There's a lot of go to the go.
I mean, charged autographs in general are a difficult situation because the problem is that when it comes to contracts and VIPs, a large chunk of the VIP's income is based on autograph signatures. A lot of the time, when you get a VIP to a convention, it is a balance. There is the cost of getting them to the convention, their appearance fee, and then any other miscellaneous fees. So their living costs while they're there and things like that. And what you do is you negotiate based on, for example, you might say, okay, we will pay for your plane ticket. However, if you waive your appearance fee, you can keep all of the autograph money. Or, for example, you might say, okay, we'll pay your appearance fee, but we get 50% of the autograph money and things like that. That autograph money is part of the VIP's costs. Which is why it's there. So it's very difficult to remove it. None of us really like it, but if we get rid of it, someone else has to pay that cost somewhere. Whether
That's
the
exactly
convention
what
just
happened.
absorbs, whether the convention absorbs that cost, or whether they pass it on by raising the ticket prices, or what, no one's really sure. I mean, for part of me kind of feels that this also varies depending on the VIP as well, because some VIPs, when they come to a convention, as far as they're concerned, they are there to work. They are working. Whereas other VIPs, they consider it to be a holiday, or they consider it free promotion kind of thing. So obviously they tend to be more or less nickety about fees. I mean, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, if I was a professional voice actor, for example, I would say, no, as long as you cover my costs, I'm not going to charge you anything because I get a free holiday and free promotion.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it myself. And then, through my promotion and my popularity, I get more work, which I get paid for. That's how I would consider it. But then on the other hand, I am not a professional. So perhaps, they obviously think otherwise. But yeah, the whole autograph thing is a really awkward situation that no one really likes, but no one can actually do anything about it.
Yeah.
Another thing I can kind of understand about it is simply the amount of people who want an autograph. This might
It's
be a
easy to
little bit
capitalize.
underwhelming. It's easy to capitalize, and you can narrow it down a bit so so the celebrity in question doesn't have to spend all day just signing autographs.
Yeah. I mean, one way that it is good, sometimes one of the parts that I like about it is when some of the VIPs go to a huge amount of effort to give the people who are paying for autographs something in return. Like they'll have a stash of exclusive buttons that they'll give away, or they'll have some kind of thing that they give with the autographs. So the person is buying not just an autograph, but they get an exclusive product as well as, albeit 10 seconds, but an actual one-on-one hello rather than just being in a crowd around someone. So there are ways in which you can justify the cost of the autograph, but it depends on what kind of person you are. For some people, they're like, yeah, I'll happily pay $20 for that kind of experience. Whereas there are other people who are like, no, I'll just be patient and I'll catch them in the corridor at some point and just say, hi, do you mind signing my plushie kind of thing.
Oh, well, chances are you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, at BronyCon, I have a couple of things to say about BronyCon and the autographs. I think they were only legally allowed to sign stuff and in the autographs room. They weren't allowed to sign anything anywhere else.
Because last we've got,
the only person of show staff I did see at the con was Ingrid Nilsson, and she had a yoga panel at the con. And you were saying about one of those people that actually, goes there for fun and for holiday, even though she was charging for autographs. She got involved and she was loving it. But
that's great.
Yeah, I did a freaking yoga panel with Ingrid Nilsson. It was great. We did yoga together. But yeah, no, she was really lovely. And other than that, I mean, I peeked in a room to see if Tabitha St. Germain existed, and I was like, she does. And I didn't even see Andrea Libman. That's all I did. I was
is indeed a real person.
That's
I know.
adorable.
I just wanted to do that because I love Rarity. I was like, she exists. I'm done. I'm good now. I didn't see Andrea Libman once.
So you give me the impression impression, Anna, if you'd have started talking to her, you'd have, like, try not to faint.
What, to Tabitha?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Tabitha, though. I think if it was Tabitha or Tara, like, I would be, hello, you know, because I am really huge fans of their work. But yeah, I just wanted to see if she existed. And she was quite close to, like, the door, so I just wanted to peek in and be like, ha! And just walk out again. And that's all I did, essentially. But did you hear about the Tara Strong autographs at BronyCon?
What happened there?
No.
They were $5 more than everyone else's.
That's nothing.
Wow.
I've heard some horror stories for
Well, she has an alicorn.
over at Canada, people like William Shatner are charging like $100 a pop for an autograph.
Yeah.
Mind you, something
I
like
assumed
sci-fi-
Tarot would cost that much.
Well,
And
something
fact
sci-fi
of the matter
would go for a lot
is,
more on eBay.
And fact of the matter is, Tara Strong is by far the most popular and biggest name involved in MLP.
Yeah, the problem is though, as soon as you have someone who's charging more like that, you get into that very dangerous territory of ranking people and more popular than thou or more important than thou, and that just leads down a bit of a dark path where you're just like, I didn't think this was a competition or anything, you know. And not implying they're competing, but it's just like, it's kind of like the issue of, you know, what order do you put the credits in? Who was the most important person in the production and stuff like that? It's just like, just put it in alphabetical order. Just save everyone the hassle. Just don't even ask the question. Just everyone charges the same amount. Everyone is in alphabetical order. Then it's not even a question. That's the issue there. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed out about that. Again, my guess is that there was something contractual going on there. My guess is that, you know, someone's appearance fee got wrangled down. You know, perhaps they managed to negotiate down her appearance fee fairly heavily, and she was like, well, in that case, I'm going to make more on my autographs because I got to make a living, kind of thing. So that might have been what happened there. But yeah, it's one of those kind of awkward things where it's just like, oh, that seems a little weird.
Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, it is a little different from the whole, you know, you can't take horse fame and go to anywhere else. Tara Strong can take it and go wherever the hell she wants.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Tara Strong
Cartoon fame.
Tara Strong is in everything.
Screw
Yeah.
even the abdomen beforehand. She's just famous in general.
Yeah.
And
Like-
simply, I played Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and suddenly I hear Twilight screaming, "No, you witnessed true hell!"
It was very entertaining in Lollipop Chainsaw, where she does a very similar voice to Twilight Sparkle.
Oh,
And the character could not be any more different.
I was just about to say, Maid sent me a message for your horse fame message. He said he did the art for that.
He did.
Oh,
Awesome.
I hit him up because I actually was talking to him and Wobcake at the time about the situation and about how I was feeling before I actually uploaded the video. And I actually said to him, hey, can I commission you for some art and something? And so he did the art for me. And I was like, thank you very much. Because I was like, I've made this video and I don't know what to make for the picture, and I really love Maid's art, so I was like,
Well, I think I'm done.
I ran out.
Yeah, I'm out of questions.
Well, I got an hour 30 to go through. Hopefully, if this all took, I cut it up
Yeah,
into two
I've
parts.
got hour 20 by the looks of things.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording and pray like hell.